I don't know how aware you are, but all the world's press is talking about this mysterious metal pillar found in the middle of a desert in the USA. The video and photos that went viral in a short time and became the center of attention from everyone from 7 to 70. According to some, this structure belongs to a crazy artist. According to some, guests from outside the world have a hand in this, and the authorities still don't know who did it, but it's not over yet. A few days had just passed since this structure suddenly appeared in America, this time from a completely different part of the world, Romania. There are news from Romania. In the same way, another monolith. Now, let's take a closer look at this. It all started on 18th of November 2020 during a helicopter flight over the desert, which was in the southeast of the United States. Those on board the helicopter were biologists made up of investigative officials from the Utah Department of Wildlife Resources. The purpose of their flight that day was for a study they were doing about big-horned sheep in the desert. But during the counting they carried out from the helicopter, none of them had any idea that they would make a discovery that would attract the attention of the entire world's public opinion that day. They were about to return after a long flight when one of the researchers excitedly told the pilot of the helicopter, breath-hutching, that something very interesting had caught his attention below and he should return immediately. "What did you see?" he was asked by the pilot about what was down there. The researcher wasn't sure, and after locating the object, the authorities who landed nearby were quite surprised by the sight they saw. A smooth metal monolith about 4 meters long, resembling the set of a science fiction movie, and it was just standing there as if it had been launched from outer space to a point in the middle of the desert that no one had visited and crashed to the ground. At first, they approached this monolith cautiously. They were hesitant about whether to touch it or not. Then they came to the conclusion that it seemed harmless, so they began to examine it more closely. At the same time, they were recording themselves on camera. When you look at it from the top, it was a triangular monolith made from metal. In another sense, an obelisk. Who could have put this here? Different ideas began to be put forward from each of the scientists. It was thought before that this could be the work of an independent artist. Of course, one of the most remarkable theories that it could be a structure from outside the world. Another note, they were making jokes about it, and they were seriously trying to figure out what this was, who or by whom and for what purpose it was put here. And of course, the question of how long it had been here were also preoccupying their minds. When they examined the metal structure closely, their conclusion was that it looked like a monolith out of human hands. After that, they immediately returned to the headquarters with the photos and the videos they had taken. First of all, they did their own research without sharing it with the press. Then they used Google Earth to find out how long this mysterious metal monolith has been near. First, they went back to start of 2020 and checked it on the maps. And interestingly, they observed that the monolith had been standing in the same place for a long time. Then they said 2019, 2018 and 2017, and they realized that this metal monolith had been standing in the middle of the desert for many years without anyone noticing until they reached to the analysis of 2015's. When they looked at the Google Earth data from 2015, they saw that the monolith was not there, but in the 2016's data, it was there. I mean, whoever planted this here committed this act out about like 4 to 5 years ago. The authorities, who couldn't come to any conclusion in their investigations for a few days, shared a photo about the discovery of the monolith with the whole world on the official Instagram page of the Utah Department of Public Safety on November 20th. On 23rd of November, and after sharing all the photos and videos, what happened? The mysterious monolith, which suddenly entered the world's agenda, went viral on news channels and social media in almost all countries. It managed to catch interests of everyone from 7 to 70, from theorists to researchers, from ufologists to normal individuals. Of course, when the images appeared in the media, many ideas about what this could be began to be put forward from many parts of the world. First, a scene from Stanley Kubrick's 1960s-1980s classic science fiction film A Space Saga came to people's minds. In the film, there was a scene of an expedition by astronauts on the moon. It looked just like the mysterious monolith who suddenly appeared in Utah. When the news about the mysterious monolith began to find wide coverage in the world's press, as always, it took its place on social media in a scene from a sensational cartoon series. Anyways, I'd be surprised if Simpsons didn't have something to do with it too. According to some observers, the metal obelisk may belong to an American artist, Arthur, who lived near New Mexico for a while. Because the artist Arthur was known for similar monolith works, but he died in 2011. That's 4 years before this monolith, by the way, which had been standing in the middle of the desert since 2015. I don't know if there's any connection to him. Maybe he had this kind of instruction and it could have been carried out by his students. The interesting thing is that the place where the monolith was found is a forbidden zone. It is illegal to build structures or art on federally managed public lands without a permit, no matter what planet you are from. The Utah Authority warned in an official press release last Monday, no matter from which planet you are. This part is interesting. The authorities did not disclose exactly where it was so that people would not flock to this location, because there was a risk of people getting lost in that area and everyone was worried that they might harm wildlife. But very soon, as a result of hours of work on Google Earth by curious researchers, the coordinates of the mysterious monolith were detected and shared on all social medias. Immediately afterwards, the expected happened and the people from many regions of America began to come to that region. Crazy theories started flying in the air on social media. Some people say, I think we have come to the last period of 2020. Messages from aliens appear. Some offer fantastic ideas such as this may be a ritual related to the virus epidemic that has affected the whole world for a year. It is believed by many that this may be a ritual performed by some mysterious people, and the theory that they use the world's ley lines, that are energy lines, while performing the ritual. Now we come to the more interesting part. American officials announced that the sudden disappearance of the monolith in a declaration they issued last morning. In a statement by the Utah Land Management Bureau, reported that the monolith was dismantled and destroyed by unknown persons from the place where it was found on the night of November 27th. Now hold on tight, because it had only been 2 days since the disappearance of the monolith in the USA, and this time news from Romania surprised everybody. Just like the monolith found in Utah, another structure similar to it appeared at this time just opposite to the place called the Holy Mountain in Romania. It is not known by whom and how the triangular monolith was erected, and the Batka Doamnei Hill, which is connected to the city of Piatra Neam in the north of Romania, is an archaeological site under protection. That means you cannot come shaking your arms and enter there without permission. It is not a place that it can come and do this kind of operation. Either someone is making a very dirty joke with the whole world, or it really could be a ritual. Surely there are those of you who think that it may be related to an extraterrestrial intervention, but I don't think there is such a thing. But since we have connected the subject with extraterrestrials, I would also like to pass on an interesting information. Now we are going to the planet Mars. When the photographs taken with high-resolution cameras from a distance of 165 miles to Mars were examined, and scientists came across some very interesting structures. In these photos taken by the Mars exploration vehicle, we see that there is a structure similar to the mysterious monoliths that are currently on the agenda in the photos published by the University of Arizona. Monoliths similar to the monuments on Earth were observed on the surface of Mars. Some scientists even thought these structures are naturally formed by geological structures. Enthusiasts think that these are definitely some exciting extraterrestrial life monoliths created by intelligent life forms. Now, if we put everything back together, the events that happened seem quite strange to me. It is interesting that such a strange agenda has been formed towards the end of the strange year we are in. My opinion is that someone is up to something. It's not that I can't think of a possible fake alien invasion, whether I want to or not. So keep your eyes open and don't believe everything you see. Let's see what will come out of this behind the scenes. If new information comes in, I will share it with you all. Stay tuned and see you in the next video.